Fault in Our Stars meets Meet Joe Black meets Twilight. This is one of those sad romance novels, and yes, it does meet every known RNA/RWA requirement for romance novels, that specifically because it is so heavy, is actually that much better for it. This isn't a feel-good beach read, at all. This book is going to haunt you in some of the best possible ways, but it is going to have quite a few very dusty rooms throughout. It is a powerful romance of its form, and it has that tinge of the paranormal that humanity has always wrestled with in these points of our lives. It is almost as much character story as romance, and that is where the real depth comes in. It asks a lot of the questions that are seemingly common at this point, particularly when you are so young, which I happen to have a degree of experience with these last several months, as my wife had a widowmaker-type heart attack at just 43 years old almost a year ago as I write this review, survived because she was literally 3 miles from Advent Celebration Hospital just outside the gates of Walt Disney World near Animal Kingdom, and now, less than a month ago, had a quadruple bypass surgery. Indeed, that surgery is the reason this review has been so delayed, and the reason I fell about a month behind on reviews generally, though this review marks the beginning of the final phase of me catching up on them. This and 2 other books came in after I knew the surgery was coming, and all 3 authors knew up front the review would be delayed. So while I'm not dying myself, not any more than everyone is all the time at least, I've been quite close to these questions from the side of the significant other, and know all too well this side of that, which I know is something far too many will identify all too well with, either from the characters' perspectives here or from my own. For those that can withstand or even appreciate the weight of this tale, it really is one of the better books I've read this year, and this was the 75th book I've read so far in 2026. Even without looking back, I can tell you that this book is right up there in the top third of those at minimum, perhaps as high as top 10 or even higher. It really is that good, but it is absolutely one that you need to be in a mental place to be able to withstand its weight to fully appreciate, and I understand all too well that not all readers are in such a space at all times. I would still recommend picking this book up for when you are in such a space, because even if you're one of those left behind by someone like these characters, it really can bring a degree of catharsis when you're in the space to be able to accept it. For me, the absolute best romance novels are not the bubblegum or even Hallmarky ones. Don't get me wrong, those are good for what they are, but they're the safety blanket or the candy. They're designed to be safe at worst, and even fun and enticing at best, and they are awesome. Needed even. But the best, most powerful romances for me will always be the ones where death is imminent, and love is chosen anyway. Whether that be a Without Remorse by Tom Clancy, where John Kelly becomes one of the most sadistic, brutal murderers you can think of specifically because he is going after the people who killed the woman he fell in love with while leaving him for dead himself, or Nicholas Sparks' tragic romance, or yes, a Shakespearean romance. No, not Romeo and Juliet, where teens were being overreactive teens, and if they had just slowed down and thought things out, virtually none of the tragic elements there would have happened. Or even a Pearl Harbor, the 2001 Michael Bay movie, or even, and I'm really going to piss even more people off with this one than perhaps any of them yet, the Star Wars prequel movies and how Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader, specifically because he is trying to protect the woman he loves. This is that type of romance knowing death is absolutely imminent, and it is so much more powerful because of it. Very much recommended.